Oh yes, it's Christmas time and we have here a router table made by Jess'em, a Canadian manufacturer. There is a router table lift that clamps the router in place, and the height adjustment is going to be through the crank handle from the top of the table instead of from the underside. We've got here the stand, a fence, and the tabletop. The tabletop will of course fit both the fence and the router lift. So when you order the router lift, you're gonna have to watch it because the router lift 2 comes in different flavors. So the 5 different flavors will fit different router models. You're gonna have to look at it, okay? So this one fits, the one in this box fits Portacable, DeWalt, Bosch. That model number, you see it's off by 1 digit, 2310, 2311, 12, 13, 14. It will fit Makita, Hitachi, Milwaukee, or Rigid. So accordingly, we have this one here. It's Bosch 1617, matches this one here, matches this router lift model. The reason for it is because inside the box, of course, is your router lift, and the diameter of this ring is such that the adjustment on it is, you can look at the length of the screw here, it will only clamp a certain diameter of this router body. The rest of the router still in the box. There it's in there with the beautiful wooden handles. We don't need it, so we just need this one. So this diameter needs to match this diameter. Is fairly straightforward, yes? Alright, let's get started. The manufacturer's website is fairly clear about this. So if you click on this router lift, you can see the different model numbers that work for different router models. However, depending on retailers, they may simplify all this information. Like on this one, choose an option, it's kinda hidden there. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this long text to see the same breakdown of model numbers, but it doesn't tell you that this one has a different model number, this has a different model number. They kinda conflated that information. It's missing from here that there are 5 different models of router lifts. It doesn't tell you the model numbers clearly. And if you look at another retailer, they will conflate this information even more. Router lift for Portacable, Bosch, DeWalt, all of them, yeah, but not the same model number. So here is the description, and it says this model fits any router. No, it does not fit any router. Further down, way down, it says any router with a 3.5-inch motor diameter. No, especially, yeah, Portacable, DeWalt, Bosch, that's a few of them, not all of them. And it's especially incorrect that this model fits any router. Absolutely not. So you have an old router table and a big old router in it, such as this one, Makita 3612. There, 30 pounds or so. So it's a brilliant router. It absolutely cannot possibly be fitted to any of the router lifts because it does not have that cylindrical 3.5-inch diameter router body. No part of it can be removed or reconfigured in a way. The base plate can be removed from, this is a plunge router, but this will never in a million years fit to the router lift from Jess'em. Same with this router here in the drawer. This router is so old. People here tell me Noah was building his ark with this 45-pound router. It's never going to be compatible. So once this clamp bolt is in place, but loosened up enough, the router will just fit. I'm going to tighten this bolt, and any further height adjustment will be done on the mast. I'm happy with the bolt tightening. Let's see how this works. Okay, that's the wrong direction. There, it's working. it's working slowly, which means it's good. Which means that the adjustments here, like 1/4 turn or a half a turn, will be 64th of an inch, or so it's gonna be really gradual. That's nice. And I just wanted to do this to verify that the clamp arms set on the router, that's not slipping off, not too close to this bevel. Nice. And nice. And of course it's gonna be upside down in the table. So next thing to do, let's do the table. Let's do the stand. So everything is unboxed. Let's take a look at this one. These components here will make the stand and its associated hardware. This one is the stands and its hardware. The router table will work with the router lift. The table is just like so. And the screws that work with the tabletop here, they come with the router lift. The lift has the screws in the corners as well as for leveling the router table or setting it flush to the surface of this table. This particular router table is MDF sawdust. Yeah. So, so it's got a uniform flat surface, and it's not meant for heavy duty production use. It's more like a hobbyist tool. Eventually, the top will wear away. The MDF doesn't hold up to major loads or running the router 10 hours a day. So that's the model number for this MDF there. MDF inch and an eighth thick. They're English. Let's build the stand first. It looks like we have just one type of bolt for building the stand and washers. Doesn't have really steps, just follow the instruction here or just follow the exploded diagram here and put it together. It's very straightforward. Just one type of bolt, one washer. Put everything together. It's fairly straightforward to put the corners together, but the lower components are joined together like so. The tab goes through that slot there. So that's the only way the bolts line up with the holes. Obviously, long upper part matches with long lower part. Short upper part matches with short lower part. You'll figure it out. Upper parts are not joined with this tab, but both lower parts are. There are no extra bolts or washers, so if you lose any, tragic, it's okay. It's easy to replace them. They are pretty standard hardware. Now, I haven't tightened any of this just yet, just so I can put the tabletop down, line up the bolt holes, and bolt down the tabletop solidly to these pieces. However, this screw pattern is repeated on the underside of the tabletop, then tighten all the bolts. So this is what I have in mind. Turn it upside down. The holes line up pretty well with the pre-drill tabletop. Easy to adjust. Screws go in, nice and tight. Then tighten. It is still loose everywhere, same as before. Then tighten all of the bolts. That's the last screw going in. I haven't tightened those screws either. We actually have one left. So use the screw hole locations marked in the tabletop to square the frame to it. You can pull it sideways. Yes. You can pull it in place. When all the screws are in, that's when you start tightening these screws first. All of them just go around in a circle. So I set my clutch to whatever, setting 6 on this one to limit the torque. So it's not ripped out of the MDF, yes? It's still made of so MDF. I figured I'm gonna cut the wrench in half and put it in the chuck, like so. To do the same torque limiting tightening. All of these corners, they're still loose as ever. Yeah, works like a charm. Very nice. And of course, before I screwed the stand to the top, I made sure that wherever the channel is in the table, that's the side that gets the badge. Okay, how sturdy is this? Pretty sturdy. Of course, maybe level it, whatever. It's got the self-leveling legs there. Pretty straightforward how to do the self-leveling legs. All right, let's put the lift in here. Obviously, 4 threaded inserts here. This is how the situation looks like. You have 4 of these bolts that go into the 4 corners. Put them in just to line up the screw holes with the router lift, like so. The router lift's thickness is purposefully less than the depth of the cut made here into the tabletop for the router lift. So in 10 of these little holes, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 little screws go, and you need to level or flush up the router lift until it's flush with the tabletop everywhere. So you need a straight edge. There are no extra bolts. Obviously, you only have 4 of these and 10 of these. If you lose these tiny bits, ouch. So how you do this is lift up this router lift, still held in place by the 4 corner bolts. Lift it up, then spin the tool to set this bolt to its approximate depth. It's kind of looking good there. How about that for a straight edge? Just check it. Make sure it's good and it's not hitting anything. That might be. This is a high spot here in the table. There. So when I'm pushing a material here through, I don't want to hit that edge. So I'm going to have to lower this, even though it looks good here, but it doesn't look good there. Yeah, so I just picked 4 of these bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 to dial it in. This one is a little bit high. There. It's obvious. There. Go to turn with the wrench. Nice. As this put here, that's good. No part of the router lift should be catching. When you're pushing material through it and it gets stuck, it's mega annoying. It's coming along. Obviously, it's wobbly. There, it's wobbly that 0.5 millimeter up or down. You can kind of see. So needs a little fine tuning. Nice and level. It's even. Okay, where does this go? It goes either here or here. Just pick a spot. It's for running material against it. There in this direction, and the cutter head is gonna be there. If it's really stable, then tighten the 4 corners. It will also suck it down a little bit. So let's see how much it gets sucked down if I tighten this. Yeah, there you can see it's going under. So don't snug it up, whatever. Of course, this comes with different throat plates with different diameter holes in it for different diameter cutter heads here. And this locking tool. The fence just clamps on the table as is. I'll show you in a sec. This is the part here that has the square nut and the washer. This is kind of taped to the box or somewhere, whatever. That's where these belong. Because if you look inside, it's got more parts than my grandmother after a few surgeries. So don't have to put anything together. It comes bolted together. These bolts will slide into this slot like so, and it's going to cover the cutter head. Yep, so that's how it's working. This is how somebody put the bolts in at the factory. No, that's just not working. This is how it's working. There, so that's kind of how it should be. So let's look at the cam here. Lots of grease underneath. Nice. The cam is just simply locking, lifting the underside of this here and clamping it to the table. If you want to adjust the cam tension, there is a bolt underneath. You can tighten the bolt, take it off, whatever. You can play with this cam tension. As is, it's holding solid. If you loosen this one and this one, this can be extended to suit the size of the cutter head in the middle, and then attach the vacuum here. I think it's a 2-inch port, looks like it. And finally, let's do a quick test cut. Nothing fancy, just a simple round over bit, 1/4-inch shank, 1/4-inch collet. So let's change it. The Bosch router comes with these two tools, 24mm and 16mm wrenches, an Allen key and some faceplate screws. We don't have a faceplate change here, so let's dial in the height of the shoulder so it's not too deep, just right. With the piece of wood, the 16mm wrench goes on the arbor shaft and the 24mm wrench goes on the collet, and they tighten one against another. I'm just going to use the tie wire that the cord came with to tie the wrenches to the cord, because otherwise they're gonna get lost, covered, whatever, forgotten in no time. And of course we need one of the throat plates, so that looks like a winner here. So far so good. A hole in the handle would be handy on this one, whatever. Same for this, it needs to be, as a magnet, it needs to be kept somehow with the fence and with the table somewhere. Let's set the height. Yeah, so there's no storage for any of the face plates, any of these extra screws or manual or the 1/2-inch collet. There isn't a drawer or anything on this. Hey, it's easy cleanup around it, but there is a reason why many of these home built or whatever units come with drawers, because that's how router tables work best. This isn't rocket science. The corner of this router bit here needs to be flush with the top of the table. The adjustment is nice and easy. That's almost there. That's catching. That's looking promising there. And it's still catching a little bit, so we'll adjust it, I don't know, a 1/4 turn, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, let's try that. Of course, block the height of the bit. There, tightens there. Goes on the magnet. Let's fire it up and see what we can do. I'm not going to use the fence for this. This screw-in peg is going to be needed, and I'm going to hit the router bearing and see how this goes. Yeah, bit of a problem. One of these bolts fell out. This one that I need to tighten. It fell out. The whole table, everything was severely vibrating and it was excessively noisy. Okay, the bolts below have been tightened. Alright, back to the original bit that was shaking the table. Got rid of the tie wire. It's easier to move the wrench along its cord with this carabiner. Alright, tested the table with that router bit and the original one. Once the bolt underneath got tightened, the table is not vibrating and the router bits don't have a run out. It's working nice and as quietly as it should. Yeah, we still need a drawer, something made here. It's yeah, this needs a hole in its handle and another carabiner. It's something. How's the cut? The cut is nice, except it was not set up right. It's got a little lip to it there that shouldn't be there, but it's cutting fine. Table is working fine. Needs to be set to the correct height for making cuts that don't leave the shoulder on the wood. Drilled a hole in, came out on the other side pretty well. I need a wire through it, I need to hang it somewhere. Same for this one. I have a piece of magnet here, just something where we'll call it close enough for a Friday. Let's clean up.